Folks, here we go. This is break 769, the 2021 Prizm Draft Picks Hybrid Division Random. Let's see how many times we're going to randomize this. That is 5 times. 5 times on this one. Sean, why do you think Carson Wentz will be back? Do you think it's because of Jonathan Taylor and the O-line? I know why I think it is, but I'd love to hear your take. Here we go, though. First, before Sean's take, we got Cynthia with the AFC East, T-Man with the AFC North, NFC South, and NFC West. Cynthia with the AFC West. AFC South goes to Matt. NFC East goes to Michael, and the NFC North goes to Haley.
Yeah, getting him back with Frank Reich, I think, will be huge. And just the toxicity that was happening in the front office and the coaching staff. I'm not the biggest Wentz fan, but I think getting him back with a guy he had success with in a franchise that doesn't have a lot of drama will be a good place for him. Plus, the offensive line there is tremendous.
That sure is true. All right, break 768 hasn't filled yet, but we've got Prizm DP 30 to get 30% off of those picks. Alrighty, let's rip into this as everyone has their teams. 5 cards per pack, 12 packs per box, 1 auto and 2 silver prisms per box on average. Panini really hammers that on average home because that will that's how they protect themselves for sure. Alrighty, we got Kyler Murray of the Cardinals, followed by Jacob Eason of the Colts, a blue Darren Waller of the Las Vegas Raiders. And then we've got Aziz Oluwari of the New York Giants and Chuba Hubbard of the Carolina Panthers. Big Chuba Hubbard guy here. I am, and that's mainly because I like his name, but what do you think of Chuba, Sean?
I think he's okay. If we're going off of names, gotta like Puka Williams, too.
Puka Williams Jr., great name for sure. Deebo Samuel of the 49ers, Miles Sanders of the Giants, and then we've got the red Trevon Moehrig of the Las Vegas Raiders, followed by Dylan Moses of the Jacksonville Jaguars, an undrafted free agent there. And we've got Tyson Campbell of the Jacksonville Jaguars as well. Jags, a lot of young players this year, I feel like. Their team just seems to be super young.
Yep. I'm interested to see whether Travis Etienne plays running back or wide receiver.
I know, that'll be curious. George Kittle of the 49ers, Russell Wilson of Seattle, James Robinson Blue of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Brett, we all know that's a fake name. We got Terrace Marshall Jr. of the Carolina Panthers, and then an All-American Micah Parsons of the Cowboys. What do you think of Micah Parsons? You think he follows the defensive end, the Aaron Maben track, or is he going to be a good Penn State defensive end?
He's a bust, and so is Owe. If you really watch their tape, a lot of manufactured sacks, and just his personality isn't great. I was going to be really upset if Miami ended up drafting him.
Got it. Julian Edelman of the Patriots, Daniel Jones of the Giants, the Tyson Campbell Blue RC of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Then we've got Zach Wilson. And right after Zach Wilson, it's Trey Lance. So let's get the boom booms going because we've got the back-to-back big rookies. Pick number 2 and pick number 3. The Jets is Cynthia and the 49ers is Trey. I mean, John doesn't think Mac Jones will be a bust. I'm never really sold on any Alabama quarterback, and the reason is because they play with such high talent. They're playing with people that are better than any team that they're going to play against. So when you're playing with people that are head and shoulders above the rest. So that's, I mean, when's the last time an Alabama quarterback was good in the league? Derrick Henry from the Titans, Tyler Boyd from Cincinnati, Darrell Henderson. Not sure where he is, but we will figure that we'll get that listed because he's a vet. Rashad Bateman of the Ravens and Patrick Jones Jr. of the Minnesota Vikings.
Henderson is on the Rams.
Henderson's on the Rams. You do have the 49ers, T-Man. I might have misspoke there. Sorry, I was gearing up my Alabama take.
And Mac Jones doesn't have any wide receivers in New England. They have nothing for him to throw to.
Josh Jacobs of the Raiders, Juju Smith-Schuster of Pittsburgh, Derek Carr of the Las Vegas Raiders, Chris Evans from Michigan, now on the Cincinnati Bengals. And speaking of Mac Jones, there's the All-Americans from the University of Alabama and now on the New England Patriots going to Cynthia. That is Mac Jones.
I guess Zach Wilson's been looking good in OTAs too, with Elijah Moore.
Yeah, I hated the Elijah Moore pickup by them. I think he's going to be a strong wide receiver. It'll be interesting to me to see how Zach Wilson does. James Conner of Alexander, Devontae Adams of the Packers. Then we've got Chris Godwin, the Pink of Tampa Bay. And that is going to T-Man. That's out of 20. 1 out of 20 right there, to be exact. Then we've got Trevor Lawrence, the Crusades Trevor Lawrence. And I thought that was going to be another Mac Jones behind him. But the Crusade Trevor Lawrence of the Jaguars. And that is going to Matt. Trey Sermon's upside and Shanahan's running back by committee approach. What do you think of that? We got Rashad Bateman of the Rashad Bateman of the Ravens next.
Yeah, I think Trey Sermon, from a fantasy standpoint, he'll be getting a lot of touchdowns at the goal line. So, like him there.
Patrick Mahomes of the Chiefs. Chris Godwin of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And then here is an auto. It's out of 25. Rico Busi Jr. Rico Busi of the Steelers. And that's going to T-Man. From North Texas, the Mean Green. We've got Sage Surratt of the Lions and Javon Holland of the Miami Dolphins. What do you think of Javon?
I was really high on their whole draft class, and most analysts had them ranked with the best. Javon Holland is going to be a huge pickup. Very excited for him.
Ooh, looks like we've got a Prizm Draft Picks hobby pick your team coming up. Glad to see that one close. Ben Roethlisberger of Pittsburgh, Josh Kelly of the Chargers, Najee Harris, you said was the correct way?
Najee Harris.
Najee Harris of the Steelers, the All-American version going to T-Man, Jamie Newman of the Eagles, and then Trey Sermon of the San Francisco 49ers. Definitely an all-names team there with the Rico Busi. 3 packs left in this break. And 3 packs left until Sean is no longer with us this evening. He's got quite the schedule, so he'll be packing up and taking off after this break. We've got Stephon Diggs of the Bills, Darrell Henderson of the Rams, a Mac Jones silver of the New England Patriots going to Cynthia. Then we've got Greg Rousseau of the Bills to Cynthia, and Sean Wade of the Baltimore Ravens going to T-Man. Yeah, my anti-Alabama QB in the league has nothing to do with Alabama or Saban. It actually is I would say a kind of a compliment to them. Like, they recruit so well. Like, I mean, look at who he was throwing to. It was like they just head and shoulders above everyone else's QBs there. Alvin Kamara, David Johnson. We've got Dylan Moses of the Jaguars, a Crusade Micah Parsons of the Cowboys, and then Tyler Vaughns of the Indianapolis Colts. He's an undrafted free agent. And Sean may be back in the future if we can find times to work for him. His commentary definitely appreciated. He spent hours, hundreds of hours probably, analyzing the 2021 draft class, so it's always great to hear what he has to say. Chase Claypool of the Notre Dame Fighting Irish, now of the Steelers. Jared Goff. Then we've got the blue Sam Darnold minus the masking tape. And then we have Kwity Paye of the Colts and an All-Americans Justin Fields to wrap that one up.
Speaking of Notre Dame, one of my real under-the-radar prospects, big fan of Tommy Tremble.
I like Tommy Tremble. He's a tight end there. Big fan of his as well. Notre Dame, they produce tight end after tight end. It'll just be interesting to see if how he'll do in Carolina. We got Kwity Paye of the Colts to Matthew. Tyler Vaughns of the Colts to Matthew. Micah Parsons of the Cowboys going to Michael. Then we got Dylan Moses of the Jaguars. That one a blue to Matthew. An All-Americans Sean Wade of the Baltimore Ravens. Then we got Greg Rousseau of the Bills. Trey Sermon of the 49ers. Jamie Newman of the Eagles. The Red Najee Harris All-Americans of the Steelers. Javon Holland of the Miami Dolphins, Sage Surratt of the Lions, Rashad Bateman of the Ravens, Matt Jones, All-American of New England, followed by Chris Evans of the Cincinnati Bengals, Patrick Jones, the second of Minnesota, Rashad Bateman of Baltimore, the Blue Tyson Campbell of the Jacksonville Jaguars, the All-Americans Micah Parsons, Terrace Marshall, Crusades, Tyson Campbell of the Jaguars, Dylan Moses of the Jaguars, the Red Trevon Moring of the Las Vegas Raiders, Chuba Hubbard of the Carolina Panthers, and Azeez Oluwari of the New York Giants. They're telling me that I should buy you breakfast after the show, Sean. But Sean and I are actually brothers, so we spend a good amount of time together. He'll probably get around to golf or something on me out of this. So
my birthday's coming up, so maybe one of these break shows he comes across an autographed Jalen Waddle. He can convince you guys to let me have it.
The Chris Godwin 1 out of 20, followed by our auto Rico Busi Jr. And then we've got our 5 QBs: Mac Jones, Trevor Lawrence, Trey Lance, Zach Wilson, and Justin Fields. There they are, and that is the end of break 769. And Sean, thank you so much for joining us. Can you let them know where they could go to hear more from you on the FinManiacs